Good morning, my special Spanish 2 friends. You'll see right there, there's my citronella candle because I'm on my front porch. So occasionally you'll hear birds and cars go by, but I hope that's not going to be too distracting. Today I'm here to talk about the double object pronouns, and I'm also here to talk to you about page 92 WES. So I'm going to do a little explanation in case the other video that I posted wasn't clear enough, and then after that I'll do a couple of examples and get into page 92. And then later on in Schoology you'll actually see page 93. So I want to just go over a couple things with you that you have seen before, a little bit here and there. So when I say IDOP, I'm talking about indirect object pronoun. And when I'm talking about DOP, I'm talking about a direct object pronoun. Now, to explain, and I want you to realize there's a reason why I put this block before this block, and you can see it right here, but I'll explain that in a minute. So, indirect object pronouns, they tell you to or for whom something is intended. Like, if I give you a grade, what am I giving? Well, I'm giving you a grade. But if I give it to you, and I don't want to go a ti, just spell it out, I can put this right here. Now, so these, we've got me, we got te, we got le, we got nos, we got les. And you've actually seen these before. If you remember the verb gustar and encantar and doler, which means to feel pain. But, remember me gusta el queso? So I'm not going to write it out here, but, me gusta el queso, to me, is pleasing the cheese, or I like cheese. So you've seen indirect object pronouns, but not necessarily outside of that context. So over here is a review from earlier. These are direct object pronouns. And don't forget, like, these pronouns, that P right there and the P right here, pronouns replace nouns. So what they do is, like, here's nos, to or for me. And sorry, I'm getting a little bit off track. But if you want to, you could say the Spanish word for to is and then the Spanish word for we would be nosotros, nosotros. That would mean to us. But we just say nos. And then les right here, you could say and then ellos or ellas or ustedes, but les can replace those things right there. Now, here's direct object pronouns. These pronouns replace, guess what? Direct objects. So me, te, nos, they look the same, they sound the same, they are the same, but when you use them as direct objects, they have different meanings. Me for me, te for you, nos for us. And then lo and la, and los and las. Lo is masculine, so it's for him. La is for her, so it's feminine. Los is for them. And then you can tell which one is masculine and feminine. Now, indirect object pronouns or indirect objects are who or it tells you to or for something is intended. Again, who is this gift for? Who, if I give you a grade, what am I giving? I'm giving a grade. That's the direct object. But who am I giving it to? I'm giving it to you. Now, before we get into the action of how to use this, I'll show you right here. Just remember this: people before things. Now, this might be something that you've heard from, an old person like me about, valuing people before things. But also, this is the order that if you use double object pronouns, indirect object pronouns come first, and then direct object pronouns come second. So that's why I've got it right here, I-dop and then dop. Now I've got an example sentence right here, and then I'm going to flip over and do a couple on the page. I gave flowers to my mother. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to show you something right here, and let's take a look. So I'm just going to straight out just do it and just, show you what to do. So we've got yo di. That's I gave. What did you give? Las flores. Who did you give it to? A mi madre. Now this sentence is almost correct. It's almost correct. It flows. Yo di las flores a mi madre. But it is missing one, and that's my finger, that's one little thing. All right, and I'm going to tell you something. So let me mark these off here. This is what you're giving. This is a direct object. No, sorry, that's not a pronoun yet. It's a direct object. And this right here is your indirect object. Notice we don't have any pronouns yet. Nothing's being replaced. So what I'm going to tell you here is a little secret. If you have an indirect object, and I'm going to draw a little arrow, you must use an indirect object pronoun. And if you were in class, you would hear me say the word redundant. And a redundant is an unnecessary repetition. So I'm going to go through this with you right here. So yo di las flores a mi madre, and you must use an indirect object pronoun if you have an indirect object. So let's take a look at this right here. Let's go up to the indirect object pronouns. So to my mother, all right, me, te, le, nos, les. To my mother is singular, so we're going to use this side like I've taught you many, many times. You know it's not to me, you know it's not to you, it's to her. Okay, so I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to go a mi madre, and I'm going to draw a little line, and I'm going to just put in le, and just circle that, just to keep that in mind, okay? I am going to put that in there. I have to use it. Now I'm going to come over here to las flores. What did you give? I gave the flowers. So I'm going to come over here. Did you give myself? No. Did I give you? Did I give us? Did I give them? Oh, interesting. Wait, hold on. Las flores, is that singular or plural? Well, this is the singular side, so let's dump that side. Here's the plural side. What did you give? You gave them. So it's either going to be los or las. But take a look right here. Las flores is feminine. So the answer is going to be las. I'm going to put a circle around that. Now, I'm going to write something right here, and then I'm going to say it. All right. Okay. So indirect object pronouns and direct object pronouns go before the verb. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, wait, if they both go before the verb, which one comes first? People before things. What are you giving? You're giving flowers. That's the thing. What are you, and who is getting this thing? Who is it intended for? It's for my mother, person. So I want you to take a look at this. I'm going to go yo, and then stop right there for a second. Wait. Indirect object pronouns and direct object pronouns go before the verb. People before things. Le. Yo, le. Well, right now it says I to her. Wait. What am I giving? Things. And then now, notice the rest of the sentence. Yo le las di. Oh, sorry, misspelled right there. Di. Wait, hold on. That's it? I gave, that's an I, them to her. Now, if I just walk up to you on the street and go, hey, yo le las di, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But that's the magic of pronouns, because pronouns replace nouns. So what I want you to do is just keep in mind this little thing right here. People before things. Review the video in just a minute. Now I also need to show you a little secret that's kind of weird, and you might have seen it in the Senor Jordan video before this one. Does everybody see this lay right here? You see that? Okay. There's some obscure rule, and it's not obscure because it happens all the time. You cannot have two L object pronouns before each other. So let me show you something. I've got it covered up, and if I was in class, I would put it over a different color, and I would say, I'm going to get rid of that. All right. I'm going to say cover it with a blanket. Yo se las di. Now that se right there, for whatever reason, you can't have a L and an L pronoun right next to each other. Yo le las di. I don't know why, sounds fine to me. So I'm going to cover it up with what I would call the blanket in class. Yo se las di. But no, underneath that se is a what? A le. But now, I'm going to change this up a little bit. And I'm going to say, I gave flowers to you. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to rewrite the sentence. Yo di, why do I keep doing that? Las flores, all right, a ti. All right. Now again, I'm going to point this out to you. If you have an indirect object, you must use an indirect object pronoun. So I'm going to fix that right here. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to put in a te. So yo te di las flores a ti. And you're thinking to yourself, wait, that says I gave flowers to you, or I gave you flowers to you. Legally in Spanish, that's okay. Now, which one of these can you get rid of? Can you get rid of this? No, that's the indirect object pronoun. You have to have that. But can you get rid of the a ti? Absolutely. You can get rid of this right now. Or you can keep it both on. Yo te di las flores a ti. That is if you want to emphasize who you're giving it to. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to magically shorten this sentence. And I want you to take a look at this. All right, which comes first? People or things? Te. What do I change las flores to? Las. So I'm going to go te, las. I'm going to keep the verb. Yo te las di means I gave them to you. Yo te las di. And that's it. Again, if you walk up to somebody in the street and go, hey, yo te las di, you're literally saying to that person, I gave them to you. Shoot, who knows what you're talking about if you just walk up to somebody like that and they're going to look at you like, what did you give me? I don't know. Yeah, who knows? So, anyways, I'm going to flip over the page now. This is page 92, I believe. I'm going to mark off 3 of them to do. So I want you to take a look at number 1. Él me mandó los libros. So here's the direct object. Oh, and by the way, this means he gave me the books. All right, he gave me the books. And I want to say he gave what? Them to me. So looking at the list, mete, lola, nos, los, las. It's going to be los. Notice how convenient that is right there. All right. And you've already got an indirect object pronoun. So, él, people before things, me los mandó. He gave them to me. You're done. All right. I'm going to take a look right here. Number 5. You promised me the money. We're going to change this to lo. I'm going to keep every other part of the sentence. I'm going to move the lo right here. Prometiste. You promised it to me. Again, don't walk up to somebody and go, hey, tú me lo prometiste, unless they know what you're talking about. That's just weird. And then the last one I'm going to do with you is number 14. Ella nos entregó el cheque de viajeros. Here's our indirect object pronoun. Here's our direct object. And remember, you'll notice that it's in italics, so you get rid of the whole thing and replace it with what? It's singular, but viajeros is there, but de viajeros is just describing what kind of check it is. It's a traveler's check, which you really don't see a lot these days, but you used to be able to get them from the bank, and they were security checks in a way. You'd travel with them, and you'd be able to cash them just like money, and you just have to really watch out for them. But everybody's got credit and debit cards these days, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, so what am I going to use? I'm not going to use the me, not going to use the te, not going to use the nos. I'm going to use lo or la or los or las. Well, you might be tempted to use the los or las, but what are you getting? You're getting el cheque. So I'm going to change it to lo. So she, ella, we already have the indirect object pronoun nos. Again, people before things. We're going to go lo and then entre. Go. Now, entregó comes from the verb entregar, which means to turn in or to hand over. So she handed over it to us. Boom. So I'm going to leave you here with this. I know this video is a little bit longer, but it had a double purpose. So anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. And the last video I'm going to post is coming up. I'm about to shoot it in just a minute and post it to our very last week of school. So I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks.